As the country continues to reopen and travel begins to return to normal, many are wondering what they should do with their saved up travel points. Joining us now, the expert on all things travel points, Brian Kelly, CEO and founder of the Points Guy. Brian, encapsulate where we are now in just the last year and a half in terms of, I mean, it was feast or famine, right? I guess now it's good to have all this stuff, but there was a time where you were basically all dressed up with nowhere to go.
Exactly. I remember 15 months ago, I was home for 100 days straight, which I know a lot of business travelers were in the same situation. But things have changed dramatically. You know, travel's back to nearly 80% of screen TSA passengers. We're now clocking over 2.1 million per day, and that number keeps rising. So what that means is airfares, you know, a year ago, you could fly New York to LA for $50. Those days are long gone. Airfares have shot up. People are jam-packed into airports. And bottom line, people should be using their frequent flyer miles and points because they don't get more valuable over time.
They get less valuable, don't they? I mean, they not now. They're probably back to where they were. But for a while, were they less valuable? They never get more valuable, but for a while, were they less valuable?
They were, because when you could buy a ticket for $40 from New York to Miami, why would you ever want to redeem your miles? But the pendulum is swinging because fares have now started to shoot up. You know, the value is there in frequent flyer miles. I'm taking my family to to Germany in August, and I just booked 8 business class saver tickets on Lufthansa. And the best part about using your points and miles, you can cancel free of charge and get all of your miles and taxes and fees back in most programs. So using your points gives you that added layer of flexibility. I heard Merkel the other day saying the Delta variant is really concerning. They could shut down again to Americans. So instead of getting a boatload of airline vouchers, I'd much rather get all my miles back and be able to rebook to somewhere where I know we'll be able to get in.
Are there discounts now that you could buy You could buy discounted points now? They haven't come back all the way, or not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the loyalty programs, that's how they've survived the pandemic. Almost every airline has collateralized and sold their frequent flyer miles to their credit card partners. And they usually offer deals, but the best deals are actually just signing up for credit cards. The market is booming. We now have several 100,000 plus offers on the market for a single credit card. To the consumer, that's over $1,000 in value just by signing up for a credit card. So that's the easiest way to rack up your points. But the biggest thing is use them. I know so many people who just keep, accruing them and accruing them, but the time is now to use them.
Because there can be devaluations, like the Fed can keep printing too many of them, right, or something.
Exactly.
Or how does it happen? So if you save them and don't use them, there is a possibility they could be worth less a year from now.
Absolutely. Southwest Airlines, about 2 months ago, overnight, they just devalued the value of their points. They pegged them to the cost of a ticket by 6% overnight. No notice. So sometimes the programs will give you a notice saying, hey, we're going to raise our prices. But now, most of the time that doesn't happen. So use them now, get value out of them. Don't liquidate them for gift cards. You're going to get terrible value. Save them for travel.
If you like Hilton, you should move now on some of this, right? Hilton Honors, that's a deal.
It is. It's a great program. And
100% bonus, 5.5 a nickel, a half a cent per point. So that ends though. Oh my God, that ends next week.
You can also transfer Amex points to Hilton at a big bonus until actually today, I think, is the last day. I'll just say on the hotel front, though, hotel prices are through the roof. There's a lot of resorts are still charging resort fees, which are bogus since a lot of the hotels can't provide the fees due to the labor shortage, due to COVID regulation. So if you're ever at a hotel and they're charging crazy fees, I always recommend dispute those fees. A lot of times, even in the hotel app, you can send a message saying, hey, I shouldn't pay this resort fee because I didn't get any of the perks. And I know a lot of people have had success in getting those bogus fees.
If you do have them, what's the priority or the list of how you should use them? What's the best thing to use and what's the worst thing to use? Where do you get the least amount for your money?
International, business class, first class travel, because a lot of business travelers are still staying home. Airlines are allowing customers to upgrade using points at booking, at check-in. So splurge, it's been a tough pandemic. You deserve the first class seat. I say always go for it.
Okay, you can still get cheap fares to Europe too, though, can't you? That hasn't come back because of You know, I bet you Delta's not happy about this variant, just like Corona wasn't happy to beer. But you keep talking about the Delta variant. It's like, I feel bad. Huh?
Yeah,
right.
you know, flights to Europe are, I would say, about half of where they used to be, especially in business class. You can find $2,500 round trip from the U.S. But in some markets, it's the fares are going back up. You know, it's cheaper to fly to Europe now than it is to Hawaii. So Europe is definitely the hot spot if you're willing to take the risk that things could change.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.